What's up, people? In this video, I am going to tell you about what I've been doing for the past 2-ish weeks. Todd Valentine's pickup coaching, dating coaching program, remote coaching. I signed up for this in June of 2019. He was having this like summer promo where like if you sign up, you get all these bonuses and stuff like that. And it was something I wanted to do for a long time. And I like his style of teaching. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I didn't have $600 to spend on this. Somehow I found it and signed up for it and was notoriously broke until like holiday season last year when I made a little bit of money working in retail, finally paid it off. And then about 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when I got to Denver, I finally started, like I paid off the rest of it. I was like, okay, now I'm gonna start. Today is the day, or back then, whatever. Anyway, this is going to be my like first impressions of the program so far. Do I like it? Do I not like it? Is it great? Should you do it? Should you not do it? Whatever. So before we get into that, let me just tell you a little bit of background about what it is. For those of you who don't know what this like pickup thing is, it's basically improving your dating life, I guess, as for guys, specifically by teaching you the skills necessary to approach girls in various situations and like, convince them that you're a cool person and that they should hang out with you and pursue like a romantic relationship with you. Basically it teaches you how to pick up girls. Like, what is this like hard for you to understand? I don't know. Anyway, that's what it is. And not like I'm like, I'm not saying like I'm good at it. I've had some success before. Like I'm pretty good already, kind of, you know what I mean? But the one issue that I really wanted to work on was that I didn't have a lot of I didn't feel very confident approaching girls in public unless it was like only me and her, and like it's only me. Like if we're the example I gave is like if we're in a doctor's office and it's just me and her, I have no problem like saying something. But if I see a girl like all the way over there and she's walking some direction or sitting whatever by herself, it's like a little nerve-wracking for me to go over there and start a conversation with her. That was like what I wanted to get over. That was like my main thing. Cause like once I'm in the conversation, I'm good. And I work out, like I'm pretty fit. I don't know. I don't want to say I'm like the most best looking guy. Not that I'm like the best looking guy in the world, but like in the past I have already gotten like a good reaction from girls, which, go me, I guess. But what I really wanted is just the whole approaching aspect of it, to get better at that and carry that skill through my other interactions and just basically do that. Okay, so anyway, that's the point. Now, when I signed up for the program, so okay, bottom line, program's fucking awesome. Just gonna say it. Like, I can't like tease this anymore. It's very good. If you guys know anything about Todd's style of teaching game, he's very analytical and very verbal, right? And I'm also very verbal, I guess, because I think that I'm not one of these like, I don't know what you think of me, but like I'm not one of these like super extroverted, like jump around all over the place. Like I can be like that at work. I am like that because I have to be like that to make money. But if I'm not at work, I'm just like a really chill person. So anyway, Todd's style of teaching game is very verbal. It's like how to say the right thing so that you will convey your personality in a way that like you're just a cool person who's not nervous around girls and is not like because as guys a lot of times we have a problem where like we make it very obvious that we like the girl. There's no challenge for her. It's a problem that I had as well. But his style of game is a lot more like banter, a lot of like give and take, and like, oh, you're pretty cool, but random example, don't like take this out of context. Pretty cool, but I see you're wearing Ugg boots. Oh, you're kind of basic. Random example, you just like rip on her a little bit. Oh, it's a neg, I guess, right? Whatever, fine. You call it a neg, like we're bad people, pick up people, but like really at the end of the day, like you're just teasing somebody, otherwise known as flirting, okay? All of you like crazy people who want to hate me now because like I made fun of a girl's Ugg boots. Yeah, anyway, bottom line, the program, I really liked it, and I really liked it for one reason, which is that it held me accountable to actually start going out, right? I'm 36 years old, and I like had a period in my life where I would like go out to clubs and bars and like parties and stuff regularly when I was in the army. Because when I was in the army, and I would, when you're in there and you get out like once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something, you want to like go crazy in the 2 days that you have off, because you're going to go back to base soon, and it's like, why not? You know what I mean? That was a long time ago. That was almost 15 years ago. So like a little bit older now, and to go out to a club for me now is like, it was super awkward. However, I wanted to practice in clubs as opposed to like on the street. Most guys who get into pickup at like a later age, like actually get into pickup, they prefer day game, right? Is kind of been my perception, right? Because like clubs are a little bit intimidating. Fuck it. Clubs are very intimidating, right? For lots of people. Like, it's like loud music. Everyone looks like they're having a lot of fun. And you're just like, oh my God, like, what do I do? However, the advantage that the reason I wanted to go work on my game in clubs is because I feel like they offer anonymity. Whereas in the daytime, yeah, I guess you still have anonymity as well. But like, if you go do like, let's say you go do an approach in the daytime, you go like approach that girl at Starbucks or whatever it is, and she like blows you off or is like totally creeped out by you, there's people in there who probably saw that, and it's like kind of embarrassing, you know what I mean? And you have to like leave the Starbucks. You can't like go and approach the next girl in Starbucks, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's a little weird for people to talk to each other. For a man to approach a woman, okay, fine, you say it's not weird, but like, really, who do you see that happening in your Starbucks? No, you don't. So it's weird. So like, I don't know, it's just kind of, I wasn't very comfortable doing that. However, in a club where there's like loud music and it's dark and like nobody's going to recognize you anyway, you can go approach a girl who's there to be approached, by the way. They're there to like meet people. Oh, they're there to dance, whatever, have fun with their friends, fine, okay, sure. Maybe some of them are, to be fair. But a lot of them go there to like meet guys or get attention from guys, at least. So, if you go do that approach in a club, then like, and it doesn't go well, who cares? Like, you disappear into the crowd and you find some other girl like 10 feet away who didn't see you bomb with that last group or girl, and you start over, and you do it again. You can practice a lot in a very short period of time with anonymity, which is what I liked. So anyway, the point is that I'm very happy with that I did this program, like for only that reason right there. Like, because I was held accountable, I really just held myself accountable to go to clubs and do approaches only really like twice a week. I tried to go more, but with work and like working out, like it was just kind of hard. Also, these past couple weeks, like I have been focusing on work. I've taken 1 day off in 3 weeks, and I do have a job where I'm like on my feet talking to people, so it is kind of exhausting in a way. Combine that with exercise at the gym and like going out at night, like something's got to give, which is why I got sick. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, that was like what I got out of it. And if you are thinking of signing up for a coaching program, I would encourage you to not undervalue the accountability aspect of it. Because like, let's be real, most guys who thinking of, who want to practice pickup or interested in pickup lack accountability, which is why you'll find people, self-included, some like a little bit, who will watch a ton of videos and never do any approaches, right? I fortunately had a job where it's my job to approach women, really. That's actually my job, to approach women and engage them in a conversation and try and sell them something. It was actually my job. So like, I was able to also integrate some of these things into my job as well. But at my job, I'm not really trying to pick them up. If it happens, it happens. Or if like, whatever, I get their social media or number or something. But I'm there to make money, and like, that's my main priority at work. But anyway, the reason I bring up the whole accountability thing is that like, if you're a complete beginner and you know nothing and you're like looking for like a system to do it, it's very good, because like I said, Todd's style is very analytical. So teach you about like the different phases of a conversation, let's say. So that's good. But basically what I'm trying to say is that like, at least for me, the value that I got out of this program was not necessarily like the techniques that I learned or the overall like principles, although those are valuable. I'll go over a couple of those in a second. Those are very valuable, but those are like, you have so much content for free on the internet anyway. Like, do you really need this like extra program by somebody, even if he's really good? Probably not, you know, like, I mean, maybe a couple concepts here and there, but you could arguably, you know, just practice any system or just wing it and just go approach 1,000 people over a month or a couple weeks or whatever, 2 months, and you'd still get better anyway, right? But without the accountability, you're not going to do that. You're not going to take any action, which is the point. The accountability made me take the action. Okay, so the two concepts that I liked, number one was premise, which is basically like when you're talking to a girl, right? A lot of times what happens is you get stuck. Todd calls it the 30-minute conversation to nowhere, I think, which is like you're talking to her. It's like, oh, you do this. Oh, wow, cool. I do that. Oh, well, what about this? Oh, and you like talk about fucking this like really platonic conversation where, okay, maybe she thinks you're cute and you think she's cute, but there's no like indication that like this could be some sort of like romantic relationship. So there's this concept of premise, right, which is basically where you include that in the conversation in some way, right, which can be as simple as, right, as simple as like she says anything, right, be like, oh my god, I can't believe you just said that, like I was considering making you my girlfriend, but now you just lost 5 points. Whatever. She's like, I like red. Oh my god, you like red? Oh, I like blue. Like, that's it, I'm done with you. Whatever. Anyway, or not necessarily I'm done with you, but like you have to kind of insert something in there that like implies that like plants the seed, I guess, in her head that you are a potential romantic partner, right? Not just like, oh, cars are really good, whatever. Does that make sense? And leads into kind of the next concept, which is also very helpful, which is like push-pull, which is not really like a new concept in game. Basically, it's like teasing. It's kind of or a neg, I guess, like I mentioned in the beginning. You just kind of like tease the girl, like, yeah, you're really cool, but, you know, or like I've said this to a couple of girls, because I have a lot of opportunities to practice at my job. You know, I work at the mall. There's a lot of attractive girls there all the time. So what did I say the other day? I was like, this really hot girl who like sat in my chair for a demo, and I was like, yeah, like, you know, you're super hot, like you're not my type. I don't like, you know, no offense, like you're very attractive, I'm sure a lot of guys like you. This girl's like smoking hot. And I was like, but you know, you're just not my type. Like obviously this girl's every girl's type, or every guy's type. So she's thinking like, what does he mean I'm not his type? Like I'm everybody's type, you know? It's just stuff like that. Whereas if I just left it out there and said, you're really attractive, you know, she's like, oh great, thanks, another one of these guys. But that would be the pull, right? You pull them, I guess, towards you. And then the push is like, but you're not my type, like, you know what I mean? And then when you combine that with premise, and that's actually an example of combining it with premise, right? Because I'm saying you're very attractive, but you're not my type. It's like planting the idea in her head that like maybe we would be compatible, but she's not my type, right? So like those two concepts right there really helped me a lot. Okay, the whole idea of like premise, which is literally like finding some opportunity to include some comment in the conversation that implies that like maybe you guys could be like romantically involved. Combine that with like a little bit of push-pull, and then like I've had kind of unbelievable results, like, to be fair. Let's talk about the results. Okay, so I've gone out I think 5 or 6 times the past couple weeks. I did get sick. I went out to this one club, and like it was probably my worst night, I would say. It was still good, but it was my worst night because I was just like, had pretty bad approach anxiety, and like it was an 18 and over club. I just felt kind of old, and I was like, I didn't like the music. It was just like, I don't know, maybe I was in a bad mood or something. And I just didn't feel like approaching. Like I did a couple approaches, nothing really stuck, except the first one. Nothing really stuck. So I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm not going to stress myself out, do a bunch of shitty approaches. I'm just going to dance and like have fun at the party. So I fucking danced for like 2 hours to this like techno music and wore myself out and ended up getting sick. Anyway, still ended up, all right, whatever. Anyway, the night still ended well, because that first set that I did that like opened very well, I saw her at the very end of the night, like 5 minutes before the club closed, and like started talking to her again, and she was all over me. like touching me and stuff like that. Just like, okay, so at a club it's very loud. This is gonna be a long video. At clubs it's very loud, right? So what happens, that I've seen at least, is that you'll kind of like lean in and speak into the other person's ear. Like your head is like right here, like talking into their ear, because it's so loud and like you can't hear anything. I couldn't hear anything, at least. So what happens is because you're kind of like getting close to the other person, what I did, or what some people do, is you'll like casually like place a hand on their arm or on their side or whatever, and lean in to like say whatever it is that you have to say, right? So like in a conversation, when people are going back and forth, you lean in and say something, she leans in and says and like responds, and like it goes back and forth like that. So with this girl, probably shouldn't be saying this, whatever, anybody cares. I haven't said who she is. I could tell she's like touching me like more than she needs to. So I was like, oh, this girl's down, she's probably drunk. So like at one point, after like 3 or 4 like back and forth, it's like I just pulled back and like grabbed her and started making out with her, right? And then I was like, oh, do you want to like, let's go someplace quieter where we can talk, I can't hear anything here. So we like go into this like dark corner of the club and just like, you know, start making out. She had a gigantic ass. This was like Instagram ass, you know what I mean? Like huge. And she was wearing these like workout pants also, not like workout pants, like yoga pants. Not yoga pants, not like the thin ones, but like workout tights. And you know, the ones that like give your ass extra shape, or girls' asses, I guess. She was wearing those. So I was like, I made a comment. I was like, look, you're really cute, but like your ass isn't big enough. You know, I like girls who have a really big ass. And she's like, what? My ass isn't big enough? And she like turns around, like starts showing me her ass. And I was like, you know, I don't know. It doesn't really look that big, but like I can't tell because you have clothes on. Like I'm not gonna ask you to like take off your clothes in the middle of the club. That would be inappropriate. But like, I don't know. And she fucking pulls down her pants and shows me her ass. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. So like that's one example, right? And that was my worst night. You know, like we made out a little bit more. I got her information, and then like she stopped responding to my text. So obviously I have a little bit more work to do. But anyway, I've had like frequent, like basically every night that I've gone out, I think every night except one, no, every night I've gone out, I've made out with at least one girl, at least, sometimes more. And I've gotten lots of numbers, lots of like social media. I've been getting a very good response from girls. Like, to be fair, it's a long ass video. To be fair, like I said, like I am in good shape and I do dress fashionably when I go out, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of competition at the places I've been going. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of guys doing approaches, or really any. I don't think, not very many at all. So I don't have a lot of competition here specifically. I do work out and I do dress well, and like I do kind of have the gift of gab because I've been working in sales for so long. But, you know, I wouldn't have like experienced this stuff if I had not been held accountable by paying this money for this program and actually going out and doing it. Okay. So that's it. Oh, I guess one more thing is that like the way it works in the program is that you have a group call every week with Todd, which I haven't really been doing. I just haven't, but they send you the notes. It's like a 5-page PDF where like people will ask questions and he will answer the questions in like a webinar. Like, I don't know if it's a webinar or just an audio call. But the notes are very detailed, and it's like, it's really good. It's almost like reading like a really good blog on Pickup. You know, and then I have my own like personal coach, which is like, I think Todd has like 3 or 4 like head coaches or something. This guy, James, he's Australian. He's been very helpful in like, I'll basically tell him like what my sticking points are. And he's like, okay, your mission for this week is to like, go do this, this, and this. Like one of my sticking points that I noticed is that if I go do an approach, I end up ejecting from the set too quickly, right? Unless it goes like really well, you know, unless like, I'm like, damn, this girl's like super into me. Like it'd be stupid for me to leave. If it's just like kind of like whatever, and it doesn't, you know, it's not bad, but it's also not amazing, I'll just like stay in for like a minute or two and be like, okay, great, have a good night, see you later. And I told him that because like I would write a field report later and I'd be like, you know, I should probably, I would notice to myself when I was describing my sets, I was like, you know, it seems like that girl was kind of into me. I probably just left too soon. And this, you know, over the course of a night happened like 5 or 6 times. And I told James this, and he's like, okay, your homework assignment or your mission for the week is that when you're in a set and you want to leave, stay there for an extra 30 seconds, right? I'm not saying, and I don't know if he said this, but like, for those of you who like love misinterpreting shit, this does not mean if a girl's like tells you to fuck off and kill yourself, that you should stay there for an extra 30 seconds. No, it's like, you know, if she responds positively but doesn't like jam her tongue down your throat immediately, just like chill for a little bit, like stay, like talk a little bit more, and just get yourself, really, I guess, just like not force yourself to stay, but discipline yourself to put a little bit more time into the set, because maybe it will blow open afterwards. I don't really know. Anyway, that did help a little bit. I actually used that in work for some girls that I met at the mall. Anyway, James is cool. He's a good coach, and that's also what's good about the program, is that they, the way that they do it is they like analyze your sticking points and give you missions to overcome them. You're also supposed to like record your sets like with an audio recorder with like a microphone. I haven't been doing that yet because I don't actually have the microphone. I have the recorder, bought a microphone, lost it. Haven't actually done that. Haven't actually gone out the past week because I've been sick. I will go out this weekend. So yeah, that's basically it. That is my kind of like spiel, or first impressions, I guess, of ToddV's coaching program. Highly recommend it. It's very affordable. Todd is obviously like very well known in the pickup industry. Used to work for RSD. It's very technical. So you know, if you're like interested in doing that, you've got an extra, like, I think if you pay it outright it's $1,500. If you do it monthly it's $1,800. You get access to his program called The System. Anyway, you get a lot of benefits. So like, if this is something you're interested in doing, highly recommend it. This was not paid or sponsored. I don't get like affiliate commission or anything like that. This is really just because like I like it, and this is what's going on in my life right now, and I wanted to make this video about it because I don't know, I gotta make videos about something, you know? Anyway, do you guys have any questions about that? Kind of a long video for me to just be talking. What do you think about that? Do you have any questions about ToddV's program? What do you think about that? I guess I might be moving to Vegas to like further to basically move to an environment where it will be easier for me to practice because it's Vegas. But maybe not. We'll see. I will also be doing trade shows every weekend, so like that'll be a new city every week. Can go out to a new city every week, maybe, possibly, like go out to the clubs there. I don't know, this whole clubbing thing's kind of new. Anyway, let me know what you think about that. Leave me a comment. Peace.